Welcome back to another edition of the Cart Barn Podcast. I'm Chris Lemley, joined by Greg DeWalt, and we thank you so much for taking some time to join us today. A little different podcast today. We're joined by Jason Deegan from the Golf Pass. Jason shares rankings of Alabama public courses as ranked by their members and reviewers.
Yeah, Jason, I was on a trip with Jason and we were talking about the courses, and it's not going to be your usual course list. The way they do it, we'll get into explaining that a little later in the podcast, but it's an interesting list, and it's strictly voted on by their members who play those courses and provide reviews. So some courses you may think are going to be on there aren't, and some courses you wonder why they're on there. It's basically because people voted or gave a review, I guess, is a more accurate depiction. But before we get into Jason, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of golf, because things are about to get heated up, I guess you could say.
Yes, they are. Next week is the big event, the Masters. That's the time that golf usually kicks off for everyone around the world. It's golf season.
I was going to say, is that for you the official start of golf season?
I don't know anymore if I have an official start for golf season.
Well, you should.
I should. Yeah, I think it is. It's always a time that I just can't wait for. I look forward to all the extra coverage, all the on the range, all the behind the scenes, and of course, I love live from at any event, but at Augusta, it's always extra special.
It's I guess for us down here in the South in Alabama, where you can kind of play all year round, there's never really an official start to the season. But I think if you're in Minnesota in knee deep snow for 3 or 4 months,
or our friends up in north of the border in Canada, yeah, that's it's a special time for sure.
The weather breaks. And I will plug the Masters app if you haven't downloaded it, you need to, because it's the best golf app going without a doubt. And now I think they've got a new feature that you can look at every shot that's ever been hit at the Masters or something crazy like that. I haven't checked it out yet, but I will during Masters week for sure.
I caught that just for a brief moment this morning on Five Clubs, and they were talking about that, and so I want to check that out. I'm thinking, as you mentioned, the Masters app, maybe we put something on our social. They do have a kind of like March Madness. You pick the winners. Maybe we'll put together a Cart Barn group, and everyone can join in and pick some winners, and we'll see how that goes.
I think that's a great idea. We need to do that. But before we get to the Masters, it was quite the weekend in professional golf, including another victory by a friend of the Cart Barn podcast, Stuart Sink, who overwhelmed the field once again on the Champions Tour out at the Hogue Classic.
Stuart's playing some phenomenal golf right now. So happy for him. And I was just happy to see he was really able to get in that little car.
That was quite a sight. But most of the time on Champions Tour or the Korn Ferry Tour, there you just see the winner, the name of the winner. Well, from the Hogue Classic, they're not going to be talking that much about Stewart was the winner. They're going to be talking about the double eagle on Saturday that he pulled off 6-iron from 205 yards on the finishing hole that gave him a 2-shot lead going into the final round. Incredible to see. A couple bounces and a little bit of roll into the hole. And, I was catching his post-round interviews, and he said he was glad that he didn't have to hit any more shots after that went in, because when you have that shot or you make a hole in one or something, there's like a shock to your system, and I think you lose your concentration. So he was glad that was his final shot of the round.
Yeah. You ever made a double eagle, Greg?
I rarely even can get to a par 5 and 2. So, there's not much chance of that.
Yeah.
But, there's always hope. I keep moving up tees maybe one of these days.
There you go.
Have you?
I have. I made one on number 9 at the old Arrowhead Country Club.
The now defunct old Arrowhead Country Club,
Yep. Yeah. So
which
it
was
was,
not a bad little 9-hole track if you
no, it
get
was
right down
great.
to it.
They had some great greens.
They
So,
did.
well, yeah, congratulations again to Stewart. We're always happy to see him win, and looking forward to seeing him on the range coming up in about 4 weeks at the Regions Tradition.
And maybe we can coerce him into coming back on before then to talk about his incredible start. I think I was looking, their next scheduled event is the PGA Senior Championship. So that's a major.
Hmm.
Maybe we can get him to talk about that. But he's been playing some incredible golf.
Yeah.
And you wonder if he could be still playing that way out on the PGA Tour. I mean, his driving distance this past week was like 306. Uh, it's incredible how he's been able to maintain his game.
Yeah.
And of
Well,
course, at the ANWA this week, the Augusta National Women's Amateur got two players with state ties playing in there. Scarlett
mhm.
Schremer from Birmingham, who plays at the University of Miami, is playing, and Auburn's Anna Davis will be teeing it up. So, want to keep an eye on them as they go forward. Good luck to them. That's always a special tournament for them for the ladies.
Yeah, we've had conversations about getting them on, but the scheduling just hasn't worked out. But maybe it'll happen soon.
Apparently, college kids have a lot going on. That the schedules just don't align with us. I guess they're just in the library with they're not digging it out of the dirt on the
Of
range.
course they are. Of course they are. Yeah.
But hopefully we can get them on at some point in the near future to talk
Well,
about that.
let's get into this week's podcast. I think everybody's going to have some interesting takes on some of the rankings for sure.
Everybody's a golf course architect at heart. So let's just dive right into Jason Deegan of Golf Pass with their top 10 courses in Alabama.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's edition of the Cart Barn Podcast. Today, we're excited to welcome into the Cart Barn Jason Deegan with Golf Pass. We're going to be talking about the Golfer's Choice Best Public Courses in Alabama. So, Jason, welcome to the Cart Barn.
Yeah, I appreciate it. My first job in golf was working in the cart barn. I was cleaning carts when as a teenager. So yeah, this is a beautiful place to be.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you get in trouble when you were cleaning those carts, not filling the sand bottles and not doing a good enough job?
I tell you, probably the worst day I had or the worst thing I did was there were a couple of unopened beers, and I snuck them home, and probably shouldn't have done that. But hey, we all do crazy things as teenagers.
Greg, that sounds like a Chad and Stewart.
Our good buddies Stuart Sink and Chad Parker may have had similar experiences.
Oh, good.
They may have raced the golf carts around and everything, but yeah, I think we've all had kind of those same experiences in the car barn. But so today we're gonna get with Jason. They have recently published the Golfer's Choice Top 20 Public Facilities in Alabama. And Jason, why don't you explain the process, because y'all's list is going to vary widely from some other lists out there.
Absolutely. And we're very proud of that fact. Our lists are curated strictly from Golf Pass reviews. So any golfer in the world can review any golf course in the world on Golf Pass. So last year, 2025, we got over 1,600 reviews of golf courses in Alabama, 41 different courses. And what we do is we take all that data that we get. People can rank courses from 1 star to 5 stars, and then rank it in multiple categories: value, pace of play, amenities, staff friendliness, all those sorts of things, to come up with an overall rating, right? It might have a 4.4 rating or a 4.1 or 3.8, whatever it may be. So we take all that data from all those reviews, and we average out, who finished 1, who finished 20th, and everywhere in between. So our lists are very volatile depending on the year. A golf course could have great reviews, and shoot to the top of the list one year and then have bad reviews the next and fall off the list completely. So that's what makes our list really interesting, is just you never know who's going to finish where. So you earned your way to the top if you end up there every year.
I think one thing that is interesting is these are actual golfers. These are the guys who are playing Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Wednesday afternoons. These aren't the so-called rater experts who go around and do that. So you're kind of getting a view of the 36 handicap guy to the scratch golfer and everything in between.
Absolutely. So the average Joe public golfer is creating this list, right? He's a paying customer. He cares about everything during his experience. How was the check-in? How was the service? How was the beverage cart? How were the course conditions? As reviewers, you and I both know, Greg, we get the special treatment. We get, you know, they roll out the nice, friendly staff service for us. We get to play the best golf courses. Oftentimes, we don't have to pay, so we don't have to think about how I invested my own money in this experience. Would I pay for it again? And I think that's how a lot of these reviews play out. Did the golfer get the bang for the buck? Did they get their money's worth when they paid?
Yeah, one thing I noticed, and we'll get into the list in a minute, but there were like no Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail courses on the top 20 list. Does that mean they just did not get enough reviews, or because there are some really great RTJ Golf Trail courses in the state?
Absolutely. I'm disappointed as well that none are in the top 20, and it was all based on they didn't get the reviews necessary to qualify. So if anything on this podcast, I want to tell all of your listeners, go out and review the golf courses, right? Some RTJ courses definitely deserve to be on the list. I'm fully admit that that's kind of one of the weak spots of our list, is great golf courses don't always qualify to be in the running because they don't get enough reviews. But we want every golf course to have a fair shot. So in a perfect world, all the golf courses would be reviewed enough to qualify. That said, everybody knows the RTJ courses are great. Our lists help expose the courses that don't get exposure. These are all still really good golf courses. Whether you want to debate is the 20th best course in Alabama or the 30th, doesn't really matter. What this list is verifying or approving is saying these courses did right by their customers and golfers love them.
I know we're going to get into the list in a minute, but I did notice that on the website there is an editor's choice listing of the best public golf courses in Alabama, and there are some RTJ courses. In fact, looks like the first couple are RTJ courses. You want to address that a little bit?
Yeah, so that's exactly what we did, right? We noticed some holes in our list. So the editors here at Golf Pass are the experts. I've played 1,200 courses in 28 countries. My staff writer, Tim Gavrich, who lives in Florida, he's played another almost 700. So, we've played in Alabama a ton. We know the good golf courses. We've seen them. I love Ross Bridge. So, we thought, hey, if they're not being recognized by our average golfers, why not bring the experts in for a minute to say, hey, these are great golf courses too. So I think we cover the gamut, right? We've got what the average golfer is saying, and we've got what the experts are saying. So we're delivering the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's a great point to make. One thing I noticed going down the top 20 list is there's several courses on there that I haven't played that now I'm going to probably go make an effort to go play. And also that the overall value of golf in Alabama, I mean, probably at least 15, maybe more of the courses on the list you can play for under $100, and a lot of them for under $70, which says a little bit about the quality and the cost efficiency to get out and play.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, I think any golf expert would say if you're ranking value golf trips or best places to enjoy for the least amount of money, Alabama's high on that list. Top 5, top 3, wherever you want to put it, right? Like, I live in California and I can't play a crappy Muni for $60, where I can go to Alabama and I can play a great golf course for $70. So that's, that's a big draw for reasons for locals to love their scene and also for traveling golfers to visit.
Sure.
A lot of these are, some of these are a little bit off the beaten path, and that's another kind of interesting. You just don't go to big cities and play those golf courses. You're kind of off the beaten path. You get to see a little bit more of Alabama and the hospitality we have down here, and just the mom and pop restaurants around the golf courses, the mom and pop golf courses that don't have fantastic budgets for upkeep, but they do a great job providing you that bang for your buck.
I think what I've noticed over the years of traveling and playing all these courses is most golf courses have really good layouts, friendly people, nice, perfectly acceptable clubhouses. The differentiation is just maybe the conditioning, where it's really hit or miss, day to day, week to week, month to month, so where you might play a $30 golf course that's mint for a couple of weeks, and then a big rainstorm or something washes out the bunkers and they don't recover, and then suddenly the bad reviews start coming in. So it takes a little bit of luck weather-wise to get on these lists, right? Because if the golf course is damaged, it's going to get dinged for value, it's going to get dinged for conditioning, and those are the things that aren't dinged when you're at a high-end place like TPC Sawgrass or famous golf courses, right? They just have the maintenance staff to recover from those things quicker.
Right. Chris, when you go to a golf course, what are you looking for, say, for the first time?
Well, obviously having good greens is important. That's one of the things you always remember. If the greens are really good, you're able to overcome some other sins from the other conditions of the golf course, to me. There's a lot of other things, but that's the main takeaway. If the greens are good, it's probably a pretty good experience.
I think, for me, I don't need a big fancy clubhouse. I just need something functional, maybe have some good apparel, and the customer service. If you're nice to me behind the counter, I'm going to get off to a good start, and I'm probably going to overlook a little bit. Maybe your tees aren't in the greatest shape or something. But if you make that good first impression on me, it gets my day off to a better start. And then, like Chris said, good greens, kind of go backwards: greens, fairways, tees. In that order, kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. The greens are important for everybody. Nobody wants putts to miss because they're hitting pock marks and aeration holes and sand and all that stuff. A lot of the complaints that bring scores down on Golf Pass is the bunkers, because it's just so hard to maintain quality bunkers. And courses that are, public courses that are just kind of run by family owned and don't have the big budgets, their bunkers might be 20, 30 years old, and it's hard to keep them in really nice shape. But I agree that the staff friendliness is huge, right? Like, you go to a big resort and you might just feel like a number, but if they treat you well, like a real human being when you walk in, and give you a good warm feeling like this is your home club, then that goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't we dive into the list here? So we'll just start number 20, Glen Lakes Golf Club down in Foley. It came in at number 20. The Golf Pass reviewer said overall a decent course, fairways and greens decent, had a fun time, enjoyed the layout. Is that a lot of what you get on these reviews typically?
I would say, yeah, for the most part, because again, these golfers aren't paid to be expert critics. They're not analyzing every hole or, you know, doing a grand review about the history of the architect who made the golf course. They just want to say, how was their experience? Decent course, had a good time. That's a pretty standard review.
Yeah, I think a lot of people I play with, they wouldn't know a Biarritz green from a Redan. They wouldn't know Donald Ross from Tillinghast. They just know if they like the golf course. And of course, if you play well, you're going to probably score the course better than if you shoot 106.
I'm always, saying to people, like, don't believe that this magazine is the perfect list or that publication is the best list, right? Like, the best list is your own list, because you have your own personal experiences, and you know what you like and what you don't. So use every list, even our list, as a guide, but not like as the Bible.
Right. So number 19 is of course Chris and I have played Cross Creek in Coleman, Alabama. Chris, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, interesting. I mean, the golf course, it's a city-owned golf course, and it's got some character. There's a few holes that are really good, and there's a few holes that not quite up to par as from a layout standpoint. But it's interesting that it made the list at number 19.
Yeah,
I think the review, when the review says great value for the price, like that, like hits home for so many golfers, right?
Yeah.
Like they can't afford $80, $100 golf courses every week. So as long as they get a golf course that's worth it for their money, then they'll give it a solid review. And solid reviews add up, because good reviews followed by bad reviews, that doesn't play well in Golfer's Choice.
Yeah. Number 18 is another course in Coleman, Terry Pines Country Club, but it's now owned by the city. It used to be the Grand Poobah in Coleman Country Club. They've done a lot of renovations. They've done a lot of tree clearing work, and just getting some better airflow. It's improved immensely in the last year and a half, I think. I think it's worthy of being on this course, on this list.
I would agree with Terry Pines. I'm not surprised at all that Terry Pines made the top 20 list at all. It's a good golf course. As Greg said, it's a course that he and I have played a lot over the years, and yeah, it's a good layout.
There's a couple of holes I'd like to blow up, but other than that, it's fine. I enjoy it. Go to 17 is going to be Cumberland Lake Golf Course in Pinson. Another kind of mom and pop operation, and I think you have to take in consideration when it's a mom and pop as opposed to straight out city owned muni or private club when it comes to budget. But they've made improvements there over the last couple of years. It's an enjoyable course. Again, if it's out, you're out to have fun. It's quality course, and usually in pretty good shape. 16 Peninsula Golf and Racket Club in Gulf Shores. Chris, have you played that?
Yes, but it has been a long time ago.
Same for
me. Many years. Yeah.
Probably 20 years for me, but I still remember it being like one of the signature plays on on Gulf Shores.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. 15 is an interesting one that I've played. I kind of stumbled upon it. Dogwood Hills Golf Club in that thriving metropolis of Flat Rock, Alabama. Again, it's just a mom and pop operation. It's surprisingly good, challenging too. Some mom and pops aren't real challenging. Dogwood Hills is definitely that, and it's always in good shape when I've played it. So
the thing that pops for me is, according to our research, you can get a green fee for $20 sometimes. So, I mean, that's just like maybe the best deal in golf, right? Like, how can you play for $1 a hole in this day and age anymore, especially for a decent course? So that's why those review scores are so good.
Yeah, really, that's a great point there. Another one that comes up on the list at 14, the Bridges at Tartan Pines in Enterprise. Never been down there to play it, but obviously it's getting some good reviews, good shape, good value, and Golf Pass Reviewer will play again. Greens fee $45 to $60, so you can't beat that.
And that's why I love these lists. You know, half these courses I've never heard of either, but if I'm going to Alabama, like I'm going to put them on my list. You know, like if I'm in the area or if I'm looking for a specific price range, like suddenly this validates that, hey, this might be worth a look. So that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, so many times we go places and we look for an add-on course, just something, maybe a late afternoon round after you finish the morning, and a list like this is a great tool to use. Number 13 is a pretty quality course, Gulf Shores Golf Club. Love that. One of the best in the state, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that it made the list. I'm actually surprised that it's not further toward the top. Friend of the podcast, Ray Schusler, used to be there. He's now over in Mobile, but it's a good golf course.
And again, a good price range for a quality course, $68 to $85. So you can't beat that. Checking in at 12, Goose Pond Colony, the lake course, one of my favorites in North Alabama. Just a super fun golf course to play, very, very picturesque when you get out there along the lake. Kind of underrated too, I think, in the state among people. Number 11, Cider Ridge down in Gadsden, in Oxford. I call it Oxford Gadsden. That's all one area. A good value course, public. A solid track to go play if you're in the Oxford, Gadsden, Anniston area. If you're down there for Talladega 500, that'd be a good little excursion away from the race crowd.
Yeah.
These are the insider tips I come here for. So good to know.
I've never played Cider Ridge. I know where it is. I've been by it, but I've never played it.
It's pretty good. It's worth giving it a shot. Gunner's Landing is one that's near and dear to my heart over in Gunnersville. Actually, we were supposed to have played a two-man old guy scramble there today, but we got snowed out. But a really nice, a little tidbit about that. Mark Blackburn, the teacher to the stars, got his start at Gunner's Landing.
Gunner's Landing. Yep. So, yeah, he talks a little bit about that on the episode that we did with Mark.
He lived in the cart barn for a while.
Wow.
Little checking in number 9, Goose Pond, the plantation course, kind of a companion course to the lake course. It's inland. Got a lot of holes that run parallel to each other, but another nice solid look. If you're going to Goose Pond, you play the lake course one day, you play the plantation course the next, or vice versa. Or you could even play them both in one long summer day if you can stand the Alabama heat. Jason doesn't know about.
I don't know how you guys do it. I couldn't.
You'd adjust. Beats the heck out of 45 degrees and blowing, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and spitting snow. Number 8, Blackberry Trail. When you pull in the parking lot, there's a bronze statue of Greg DeWalt there. That is his home track.
That's where I worked in the cart barn for a while when I was on sabbatical from my real job for 3 years.
So what's your lowest round there then, since you're an expert?
69.
Well done.
If you play from the golds, it's not going to overwhelm you from there. But Chris and I play in they have an invitational every year, first week of August. Chris and I have dominated that tournament from time to time.
That might be a little stretch.
But no, it's I think it kind of personifies what municipal golf is. They've got the senior group, they've got another group of guys that play every day, more than I do, and just it's a good. The greens are always good, the fairways are always immaculate, tee boxes are good. It's got some challenging holes, and you can play for $45. Senior rate's $35, so where can you beat that deal? And that's with a
I
car.
mean, that's a 6-star golf course in my rankings. If you can play for $45 and it's always in good condition, and it's fun, like bingo, bango, bongo. That's it. That's golf heaven.
Yeah, and
Number 7, Cherokee Ridge Country Club, a golf course that I know pretty well. I helped run a Nike Tour event there for a few years back when it was a private country club. It's in Union Grove, in between Arab and Huntsville on 231. It's a fun golf course. It's got some really scenic holes and a lot of history.
it's a pretty golf course too. But when you get down on the back nine, it's really pretty part of the property, and it's just a good value course south of Huntsville.
I mean, if it's good enough to host a Nike tour, it's I must have a good balance of playability for the average Joe and then some challenge for some really good golfers. So again, that's another sign of a good golf course, is when you can cater to both audiences.
Probably too short by today's standards. Would you agree, Chris?
Yeah, it probably is too short, but they had some really good players to come through during that time. Guys
Jerry
that
Kelly
you would
won there,
look at.
didn't he? Didn't Jerry Kelly win?
Kelly, Tommy Tolles, Jerry Kelly, I forget, P.H. Horgan was a.
Yeah, how many courses can you play that have hosted a pro tournament, the next level up for the PGA Tour? So some people like that aspect when they're looking for courses.
I agree. I totally kind of look at those little stats. Those are the little nuggets that differentiate where you play. One, when you're traveling, right? You tell yourself, hey, if this is hosted an event, this place must have a good clubhouse, good driving range, good golf course. It kind of has all the pieces.
Yeah, true story. My wife and I stayed down at Sawgrass for one vacation, and you have TPC Sawgrass and the Dye Valley, I think, the other course there. And I chose to go play Hyde Park in downtown Jacksonville, which had hosted PGA events. Ben Hogan had played there, and I think I had just as much fun for a lot less money than TPC Sawgrass. But I enjoy that historical aspect of a course.
That's where the value component comes in, right? If you pay $700 to play Sawgrass, it better be the best experience of your life, because you can have just as much fun or better at the $70 golf course, 2 miles away.
Exactly. Chris, Ballantrae Golf Club, it comes in at number 6. Jason, you said you've played this one. I think it's a really outstanding golf course. Enjoy playing there every time.
Yeah, I played it back in the summer. I enjoyed it. Had a hole in one on 14 or 15, whatever hole that is, the par 3 there.
Wow.
So it was a fun day.
Yeah, a really picturesque setting too down there in Pelham. Very, very outstanding. We got to head down to the coast again. Kraft Farms Resort, Cypress Bend course. Jason, you played there. Tell us a little bit about what you remember.
Yeah, so Cypress Bend is 5, Cotton Creek is 4 on our list. I'm not surprised that they're kind of right next to each other. They're both pretty similar in terms of presentation and challenge and all that. I just remember it being, the perfect 36-hole club where the conditions are, dialed in. The clubhouse is spacious enough to handle 36 holes worth of golfers, where you can have your little group at the bar and another group over at the restaurant or whatever. So, it just kind of checks all the boxes, and especially in a vacation area like Gulf Shores, right, where a lot of golfers are coming through there spring and fall, and they can accommodate groups, and just generally a good buddies trip spot.
I believe those are the only 2 Arnold Palmer designs in Alabama, if that makes any difference to anybody.
You guys are the experts. I'll believe you.
Well, I know there's no Arnold Palmer up this way, but I'm 100% sure that is correct.
Yeah.
We're just going to stay down on the coast for the number 3, Kiva Dunes. That really doesn't need a lot of conversation. On just easily one of the top courses in the state.
It is. I think Jerry Pate designed that one, and it's right there on the Gulf. It's a really good golf course, and I would recommend anyone that's going down to the Gulf Shores to give that a try.
About you,
Yeah,
Jason?
it's just a very high end experience, right? Like it's really hard to not too many golf courses right on the Gulf virtually, so it's just a special location, and that adds to the playing challenge, right? Because it can get a little windy there, and but the course is really well designed for that. So even if you catch a windy day, it's still an enjoyable challenge.
Number 2, we'll go to one that has really made a remarkable comeback from where it was. Limestone Springs in Aniana, just about 45 minutes northeast of Birmingham. Another Jerry Pate course. For me, it's a tremendous golf course. I love it. It's from the time you drive in, picturesque course, tree lined, and they've sunk a lot of money into the renovations.
Yeah, when my first trip to Alabama, and I'm probably talking early 2000s. We played a bunch of RTJ courses. Then our press group stopped by Limestone Springs, and being a young naive golf writer, I was like, oh, I've never heard of this place. It must not be any good. But when we got out there and saw the land, and um, fell in love with the place, and was sorry to hear that kind of fell on hard times, but even happier that it's making a good comeback.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
from when you played, they've probably cleared 3,000 trees, so it's opened up airflow. It's opened up some vistas throughout the golf course. It's just a terrific challenge, and it's always in really good shape, especially when you hit the peak May, June, July, August, September months. I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah, I'd love to come back, see it in its full glory.
Yeah. And then checking in at number 1, it's number 1 on a lot of lists. Farm Links at Purcell Farms. Where it's come from has been awesome to see. It's just a great course down there in Sylacauga. Jason, what do you remember about that?
I mean, it's the thing that everybody remembers, right? That drop shot par 3, where you're like, what club do I hit here? Because I feel like I'm falling off a skyscraper.
Mhm.
But yeah, just a great setting. I think I played it before its current itineration. I think there's a lot of like stay on property and play all day kind of aspect to it now. I was kind of there probably 15 years ago before that business model got put into place. But it sounds like it's even better now.
Yeah, they've done a ton of work there, and it really enhanced it. It's kind of almost like a stream song experience in regards to there's other things to do on property. If you want to fish, I think they've got maybe some skeet shooting and things like that. But the golf is terrific, no doubt. Chris, what about you?
I've never played there.
You work too much.
I do.
Wait, you need
I'm
to
going. I'm
retire so
going.
you can go play golf.
I'm going to clip that part out and send it to my wife. You work too much. No, I've not played it. I know a lot of people that have. Everyone that I've spoken with that has played there has nothing but high remarks.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot pricier since back in the day. You used to could go down there for $100 and play all day, and they'd give you lunch.
I'll just note that each of our categories we do a top 25 national list. So Farm Links finished 19th nationally in terms of best amenities. So again, it's that experience you're talking about, right? It's a little higher end. Everything, the food and the clubhouse and everything are really good. And then it finished 13th in the country for layout. So again, these are subcategories that our reviewers are rating 1 through 5 stars. So those two are probably two of the most coveted subcategories, right? If you have a great layout and great facilities, that means that you're a special place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jason, as you mentioned, you've played all over the world, all over the country. Where do you kind of feel like Alabama golf fits in? Underrated, overrated?
I would say underappreciated, because again, golf ends up with these stereotypes, right? This list proves there's golf courses worth seeing, worth playing, worth traveling to experience. Um, and I have cousins and uncles who live in Minnesota, and they did the RTJ trail like 5 or 6 years in a row because they just fell in love with it, because they could drive down, play a couple of different facilities. The value for the money was always really good. So there's a lot of fans of Alabama golf out there. Just need other people to jump on board. And once you try it, you realize, it's worth your time and effort and money.
I would agree wholeheartedly with that. You don't have to go too far around Alabama to find good quality golf at such a good price. You put a lot of these courses in other places, and Farm Links is probably a $350 golf course in certain parts of the country. Yeah, and it's not getting any less competitive either with everything that's being built destination wise.
Yeah. But you have that magic word, value, affordable. Those are going to start resonating more and more with people as greens fees continue to rise. So I think if Alabama can continue to hold on to that, then it will be well positioned for the future.
Yeah, I think when you look at places like Bandon Dunes, Stream Song, I mean, you're having to book these places years out lots of times. Bandon Dunes is almost 2 years, and then I think it's a lottery for to get the peak season. RTJ Golf Trail doesn't turn anybody away. I've never heard anybody say, "Well, I can't get on an RTJ Golf Trail course." Same way with a lot of these that are on your list. There's you can book a tee time relatively easily.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, right? Because accessibility and affordability are two of the challenges for a lot of golf destinations. So you've got both of those in spades, so that's helpful.
Great.
Jason, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming in to visit us in the cart barn and share what you guys have going on, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I just got to finish with the shameless plug, Golfer's Choice. We do these lists for every single state. We have a dedicated webpage at golfpass.com. So all you do is click on the travel section of the site and then click on the Golfer's Choice on the drop-down menu and explore away, right? Like we can get you trip advice on any of these states you're interested in looking at. And so we just love to be a resource for golfers. That's why we're here.
I think that's
Great.
a good point, because so many of us, we're going up, say maybe to, I don't know, Kansas City or something like that, where to take in baseball games or something. Hey, I want to get in 18 holes. We'll go into the Golfer's Choice, Golf Pass, finding out what courses are available, what courses are good, and give you that value. It's a great resource to have for our listeners.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Our site is filled with interactive maps and the course ratings. You can even book tee times. You can book golf packages. So yeah, that's why we're called the Golf Pass. We're the pass to everything for a golfer that they would need to enjoy the game. So appreciate your time today to let us spread the word.
Great, we appreciate it, Jason, and maybe we'll get you on next year when the list changes again.
Yeah, we can start the debate all over again. Why did they drop from 5 to 10, or why did they raise from 8 to 2? The argument never ends.
You're right. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Take care, guys.
I want to thank Jason Deegan of Golf Pass again for coming on and talking about their ranking systems of the best courses in Alabama. If you guys have an opinion on that, you can reach out to us on social media, post your 10 favorite courses, 5 favorite courses you don't like. Just reach out and let us know what you think. And again, we'll be monitoring the ANWA this week. Scarlett Schremer and Anna Davis teeing it up over yonder in Augusta as we kind of move into golf season, and Augusta National next week, the Masters.
And if you've made it this far, congratulations, because we are, with the Augusta National app, going to build a cart barn platform for you to pick the winners using their criteria. We'll put that on our social media. So like that, comment, join the group, pick you a winner. Might have some cart barn swag for you at some point for the winner. So do that, and catch us again next week for another edition of the Cart Barn Podcast.